Hello, hello. Okay, so this one is going to hopefully be another quick one because I do have to get to my other readings. But I wanted to look into two things. One being Michael Boyd, who there's a lot of talk going on. He is a SEX offender who lives about under 2 miles, I believe, away from where the Idaho students were murdered. And the dog. I want to look into the dog. Okay. So let's start with what connection, if any, does Michael have to Kaylee and Maddie? Two of Wands. Two of Wands, Two of Pentacles. Two of Swords. So we got 2, 2, 2. So with these cards, I would say that I do feel I am actually surprisingly picking up on some kind of connection here. But I don't know if it's firsthand or just he's seen them. But I feel like we got Two of Wands, Two of Pentacles, Two of Swords. And I asked specifically about Kaylee and Maddie, not all four of them, just the two girls. So these cards to me, with the Pentacles, that's making me think they've ran into each other at the very least, or he's seen them in person. The Two of Wands is pointing to me like he's also seen this case or been following this case on the news. And then the Two of Swords is what's making me a little nervous, not because of a sword per se, but just because of, think of a sword as like, once you slice something, you can't come back from it. It's a decision you can't come back from. So I want to first know more about this Two of Swords. Five of Cups and Eight of Cups. So the Five of Cups is about regret or disappointment. And then the Eight of Cups is like being unfulfilled, so kind of moving on. This is weird. I'm picking up on some kind of connection, but I'm not sure how far it goes. I do feel like he has firsthand knowledge of the girls that could be very basic, such as, I mean, they live in the same general area, so it could be that he's seen them out more than once, and he feels like, well, there's the girls again. So I want to know more about this Five of Cups now. What is he regretful about? Death in reverse. And there's the other two. Two of Cups in reverse. And Death in reverse. So this is making me a little worried because Death in reverse is like a resistance to change. And he has a previous charge that's not a great charge. So resistance to change would imply to me that he still has those same urges or impulses that were present within his first charge. I don't know if it's his first charge. The charge that I'm RAPE is the charge that I'm referring to. And then the Two of Cups is about like a separation or a breakup, rejection. Okay, this is going to be a little bit more in depth than I thought. Let's look into how can I do this? Okay. The night of the murders. What was Michael Boyd doing? Four of Pentacles in reverse. High Priestess in reverse. Oh boy. So there's some element of greed or taking something that did not belong to him or overstepping boundaries in some way. And the High Priestess in reverse here is telling me that this is something that he knew that he shouldn't be doing, but did it anyway. And that likely relates to this resistance to change and those same impulses coming up that had previously gotten him into jail. The High Priestess in reverse is also about like hidden motives. So this isn't painting a great picture so far. So that was the night of the murders. I'm trying to think of how to best do this. How close no, scratch that. Has Michael Boyd, has Michael Boyd ever had a face-to-face or a personal interaction with Kaylee and or Maddie? The Empress in reverse and the Five of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, now I'm confused because no. It's almost like he's seen them out and has wanted to approach, but was blocked. And I do feel like Michael is dealing with some kind of financial strain that is directly related to whatever this greed element is. So I'm feeling like there's something, it's almost, okay, let me think of it. There's almost like something in Michael Boyd's life that has been piling up for some time that has something to do with finances, that the stress from that is increasing or bringing back the impulses that previously caused him to catch the charge that he has. I am feeling some kind of connection to the girls. This could... Why is something telling me that he's the stalker? Or that he was? Scratch that part. Let me pull some cards about that. Okay, so that was a face-to-face. So I would say that he has likely seen the girls, but either stopped himself or some other outside circumstance or person stopped him from being able to approach the girls, or cut off a hello very quickly after, something along those lines. But I am feeling like there is some kind of connection here. What do the girls, Maddie and Kaylee, what do they know about Michael, if anything? What is their connection to him? Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Oh, he's been at one of their jobs before. He's been at one of their jobs. He's been at one of their jobs. Where did they work? I think one worked at a coffee place. No, I'm not going to remember. But I believe that the connection that I'm seeing here is he's been at their jobs and has likely either tried to talk to them, because they both worked in town, I believe. So that would kind of make sense if he also lived in town for him to know them that way. But I am picking up a connection here. And I'm feeling like it's something financial. So, for example, it could be that like he's financially struggling, has kind of been letting it build up, but he wanted to continue to go in and see the girls. So he kept spending a little bit of money here and there as he went into their job to try and make contact or talk to them. But it didn't really, he wasn't able, there was something that blocked it. It could be that whenever he went in, it was busy, or a number of things. Okay, yeah. What else can we know about him going in potentially to see them at their job? Eight of Swords, self-imposed prison of thoughts, powerlessness. Oh boy. If you hear that noise, that's my cats are having a wrestling match right now, so that's what that is. Also, the Eight of Swords is kind of like, woe is me. Why can't I just get what I want? And then we had the card about greed. This one's tough. Okay. Because I wasn't expecting to get all this. I wasn't expecting it to go this way. But I do feel a connection. I feel that it is through one of the girls' work. I'm getting a little bit of stalker vibes. Like almost like an entitled stalker. Like, how do I put this? Like they should want me, essentially. Like that kind of vibe. Almost like, you know what vibes I'm getting? Yeah, especially with death and reverse here. Almost like Michael would have that attitude that is like, oh, all these little college boys, these girls need a man. If I could just show my good side, then they'd fall for me instead of these little college boys. That's the energy I'm getting from him. Okay. I'm gonna go to these cards. And again, this is 2 decks that I mixed together because I like the vibe of the 2 decks mixed together. So I'm gonna pull 2 cards from here for Michael. The first one is going to be his energy in the 2 hours leading up to the murder. And then the other card is going to be Michael's energy in the 2 hours after the murder. So let's see what we get here. Oh, shit. Lilith, thief of life. Hunger, animalism, instinct. Okay, so that was 2 hours before the murder. Now in the 2 hours following the murder. Calling the storm. Oh boy. All right, what else can we know about this Lilith Thief of Life card? So it's a Lilith Thief of Life, hunger, animalism, and instinct. This was his energy 2 hours prior to the murders. So like, say around 11 p.m. to midnight, 1 a.m., around that time. What else can we know about this card? 3 of Cups. Why does that make me feel like he was watching them? Because it's girls, like, having a good time with drinks, like, basically what the girls were doing, out having a good time together. Social events. The Tower in reverse. This is reading to me like Michael was, how do I put this? And I'm using these words because of this card. It makes me feel like Michael was on the prowl that night and was watching the girls. This is really giving me Stalker vibes. Everything that I've pulled so far is giving me Stalker vibes. Stalker that initiated or began through him seeing one of the girls at work in town and then having him go out of his way to continue to go into that place of business or around the general area where he would run into the girls. However, the Tower in reverse is like making me feel like he saw the girls out and was being creepy, but that he avoided disaster. Like something happened that once again either blocked him, stopped him. However, this is 2 hours before. Okay, so just to recap. So far, I feel like Michael Boyd has a connection with the girls because he's seen them at one of their jobs. And he could have seen both of them at one of their jobs, like if Kaylee was waiting for Maddie or Maddie was waiting for Kaylee, something like that. But I do feel like Michael is not well off financially. Let me not get ahead. I do feel like Michael is well off financially, or is not well off financially, sorry. But he kept spending little bits of money to either go into one of their jobs and purchase something like coffee or something, or kept going out of his way in some way to be in the general area of these girls. I do fully believe he had his eye on at least one of these girls. I'm getting Stalker vibes, so I do think that, how do I put this? It's like, again, like I said, it's like he's an older man in a town of a bunch of college kids. So in his mind, he's like, man, these girls have money, so they could kind of like help me in some way. Like, if I was with these girls, if I was with this girl, she has more money, so that would kind of alleviate that financial burden. Plus, I'm spending this money to go see her, and I'm a man, and all these college boys, like, these girls need a real man. That's what I'm getting from his energy. But the Tower and the 3 of Cups is telling to me that he likely was either on the prowl in general or was just out and up to no good or was specifically out to see the girls. But I do feel like he saw the girls that night. I do strongly feel like he did. What else can we know about the Tower in reverse? Anxiety, Nine of Swords, the Star. Now I'm confused again because it's going a whole different direction. I would almost say it seems like that night he was very close to or tried to approach the girls, but it either hit his, something freaked him out and stopped him. Oh my gosh, hold on. Page of Cups. Oh. Okay, so in the video that I did, I think it was the first video. It was the first video, but I essentially said with the food truck guy, it seemed like that guy was maybe with the girls because he had previously saved them from a creepy situation, but then kind of latched on and wouldn't leave them alone either. But for some reason I was feeling like the food truck guy had intervened and gotten someone that was creeping the girls out away. But then again, he latched on and didn't leave him alone. I wonder if that's this guy. I wonder if this is the guy that food truck guy stepped in and got this guy. Because that would make sense because he's a little bit older. That's honestly what I'm feeling right now. But let's see about this other card, Calling the Storm. This was his energy in the 2 hours after the murders happened. Four of Swords in reverse. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So the Four of Swords in reverse is about like being ready to act. And then the Wheel of Fortune in reverse is about bad luck or like a turn of events that is not great. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking, and then I'm going to pull some cards to see what we get. I believe that Michael Boyd had either a fantasy or an interaction. I believe that he was, I don't know if I would say the stalker, because I don't know if the girls, I'm not picking up that the girls really knew about how intentional Michael was being with being in the same general area as them. But I would say that it's highly likely that Michael either had a thing for one of these girls specifically, or is just in general creepy and up to no good. I believe that, and what I mean by that is it may not be that he was set on these girls specifically, but was just kind of looking for someone. But I do feel as though he ran into these girls, Kaylee and Maddie, at one of their places of business. And it was almost like an entitled, well, I'm a man in a town full of boys, so I could treat them better, which we know obviously is not going to be true. And at the same time, it was like, you know, I'm having financial trouble, but I'm still spending the money to come and be in the same area. So either he could be referring to gas money, or he could be referring to like money to go in and buy coffee or something like that. I do feel like that night he saw the girls out. And that could also be social media. It could be that he stalked one of their social medias. I feel like that's less likely just because this Three of Cups paints the literal picture of girls being out and having a good time, and that card coming out then is kind of like, was he watching them? Because I am getting stalker vibes, and this looks like his view, what he was looking at. But then we have the Four of Swords in reverse, which is about being ready to act, and this is after the murders. I really think that, and again, I'm going to pull cards in a second to confirm this, but I think that what happened was Michael Boyd is that person that I mentioned in the first reading that was initially creeping the girls out, that food truck guy stepped in and essentially saved them from, helped them from, but then he latched on and created his own problem. But I would not be surprised if Michael was out that night and was the person that was creeping the girls out initially. Especially if it's like, hey, I've seen that guy before. Like, he's a little older. I've seen him before. Where have I seen him? And then it's like, oh, I've seen him at your work, or I've seen him at my work. And I'm like, oh, what is he doing here? So then the girls got food truck guy, or food truck guy offered to kind of come in and help out. That's my cat. But the Four of Swords reversed and the Wheel of Fortune reversed is kind of pointing to me like I'll get him next time. Oh, next time I won't let some stupid college kid get in the way of me trying to talk to them. Calling the storm. Like, calling the storm to me is like, how do I put this? Almost like someone stepping in could have triggered him in some way and had him be like, oh, you know what, next time I'm not going to let that person stop me. I'm just going to talk to him no matter what. Okay. What connection, if any, does Michael Boyd have to ever being in the house where the students were murdered? Three of Swords. King of Swords in reverse. Ugh. I feel like he's the stalker. I don't know. I don't know if one of the girls just had a general vibe, like, think I'm being watched, or if they knew who it was specifically. I feel like if they knew who it was specifically, I feel like this might be a second stalker, but I do feel like he had eyes on the house. Like, he at the very least knew where they lived. Queen of Swords in reverse and the Hierophant. I would say that I believe he knows where they lived because of stalking. I can envision him like watching the house from a distance away, or like the woods or something. Like, I do feel like he's up to something that's not good. But for some reason, I'm feeling like he was stopped. I'm feeling like he was stopped from... Almost like, let's say you're stalking someone, and during the time that you're stalking this person, someone else murders them. So now it's like, oh crap, if they find out that I was stalking, they're going to link it to me being the murderer. But I do feel like something stopped him from communicating further, or something stopped him. And it may not have stopped him permanently. He might have been planning on doing something next time, but I don't see it happening this time. I have to sneeze. Excuse me. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. This reading really didn't unfold how I expected it to. So essentially, I believe that Michael is a stalker. It might not be just stalking these girls. It might be multiple other girls. I'm not sure. That I can't get. But I do feel like he had eyes on them at work and also likely at home. Maybe followed them home, something along those lines. But I do feel like he was being a little bit more mindful that he was a lot older in a town of college kids and was trying to plan his moves accordingly. But I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing that somebody derailed his plans in some way. And those plans might not have been murder. The plans to talk to the girls, get closer to the girls. I really believe that food truck guy stepped in that night and got this guy away from the girls. I do think that Michael had eyes on the girls. I do think that he was creepy and up to no good. But I'm really feeling like something stopped him. And again, it might not have been stopping him from murder. It might have been stopping him from asking one of the girls out. But something stopped his plan. That's what I'm getting. I want to also look into the dog, because a lot of people are asking about the dog. What can we know about the dog? Let's just start very general. What can we know about the dog on the night of the murders? Page of Wands in reverse. Ten of Cups in reverse. It's almost like the dog was distracted and then separated. So it could have been like, hey, doggy, doggy, look at this toy. Let me throw it in the room. You go in the room and get it, and then I shut the door behind you. Because the Page of Wands in reverse is distraction, and then the Ten of Cups in reverse is separation. So, I don't know, I feel like the dog was led into that other bedroom on the second floor that was not Xana's room, the other room, and shut in there. Page of Pentacles upright. So that's about being loyal, faithful. I think the dog was shut in a room. I think the dog was given something and shut in a room. That's what I'm getting. I will do more if more information comes out, but I just wanted to really look into Michael. I definitely think he's up to no good. Do I think he's the murderer? No. I think he could have done something wrong if he wasn't stopped, but I think that something or someone stepped in and derailed his plan. That's what I'm getting.